Join us on a journey through time as we explore the top 10 funniest moments in history. These moments, though often bizarre and unexpected, offer a glimpse into the whimsical side of human history. In the summer of 1518, the picturesque streets of Strasbourg witnessed an unusual and baffling phenomenon, a dance epidemic that gripped the town's population. It all began with Frau Drafia, a woman whose uncontrollable urge to dance led her to take to the streets. She danced with unceasing fervor, drawing the attention of curious onlookers. Within days, more and more people joined her in this extraordinary dance party, and the numbers swelled to hundreds, even thousands, all dancing fervently, without rest. Theories attempting to explain this peculiar event range from stress-induced hysteria to a form of mass psychogenic illness. People of all ages and backgrounds, men, women, and children, all succumbed to this inexplicable urge to dance. The town was engulfed in a surreal dance fest that lasted for weeks. Despite the absurdity of the situation, it took a tragic turn as some dancers reportedly collapsed from exhaustion and even suffered fatal heart attacks due to the relentless dancing. The dancing plague of 1518 remains an enigma in history, highlighting the bizarre and unpredictable nature of human behavior. While it may seem comical in hindsight, it serves as a poignant reminder of how inexplicable events can sometimes unfold. In the early 14th century, the Italian city-states of Bologna and Modena found themselves embroiled in a war that, in retrospect, appears almost comically absurd. The cause of this conflict, the simple wooden bucket. Modena had taken the bucket as a prize of war during a raid on Bologna, and this seemingly inconsequential act triggered a full-scale military confrontation. Knights, soldiers, and military resources were mobilized in what is now known as the War of the Oaken Bucket. The battles fought over the prized bucket underscored the lengths to which humans can go over seemingly petty disputes. This bizarre episode in history not only highlighted the absurdity of the situation, but also served as a symbol of pride and rivalry between the two city-states. The War of the Oaken Bucket, though amusing in hindsight, reflects the idiosyncrasies of historical conflicts and the often irrational nature of human behavior. Boston, a city known for its historical significance, experienced an unexpected and peculiar event in 1919, the Molasses Flood. This bizarre incident involved a massive wave of molasses bursting from a storage tank and inundating the city's north end. The sheer volume and stickiness of molasses engulfed buildings, knocked over structures, and trapped people and animals in its viscous embrace. The cleanup of the molasses flood was a challenging and sticky ordeal, leaving a lasting impression on the city's history. The surreal imagery of Boston immersed in molasses became a symbol of the unexpected and the unpredictable. In the world of sports, innovation is often celebrated, but sometimes it leads to humorous moments. Such was the case in 1883 when the Philadelphia Athletics embarked on an unusual experiment to improve their fielding. Instead of wearing gloves on their hands, they decided to don gloves on their heads, believing this would give them an advantage in catching baseballs. The sight of baseball players attempting to catch balls with their heads rather than their hands was both amusing and perplexing for spectators. The experiment, while well-intentioned, turned into a source of entertainment and laughter for fans. It highlighted the quirky innovations that have been attempted in the history of sports and the willingness to explore unconventional approaches, even if they lead to comical mishaps on the field. In the mid-19th century, London faced an olfactory nightmare known as the Great Stink of 1858. The River Thames had become a putrid, foul-smelling torrent due to the untreated sewage and industrial waste that flowed into it. The stench was so unbearable that it disrupted daily life, including sessions of the British Parliament at the nearby Westminster Palace. The Great Stink forced action. Sir Joseph Bazalgette was commissioned to design a comprehensive sewage system, which significantly improved public health and the environment. This smelly period in London's history serves as a humorous yet impactful reminder that sometimes a big stink can lead to positive change. During Gustave Flaubert's infamous trial for his novel Madame Bovary in 1857, the inclusion of the word dictionary was absurdly cited as evidence of immorality by the prosecution. The incident, though a serious matter of censorship, highlights the sometimes farcical nature of legal proceedings and literary criticism. Flaubert's trial was a significant moment in literary history, as it underscored the challenges faced by authors and the often misguided attempts at censorship. The inclusion of a seemingly innocent word in a court case became a symbol of the absurdities of artistic censorship. In an odd conflict known as the Great Emu War, Australia's military faced off against emus in 1932. The government deployed soldiers armed with 2 Lewis machine guns to deal with a growing emu population wreaking havoc on farmlands. However, the emus proved to be elusive and agile, rendering the military's efforts futile. The emu's victory and the military's frustration are a humorous testament to the unpredictability of nature and the challenges humans can face when dealing with seemingly minor nuisances. The Great Emu War remains a quirky chapter in Australia's history. Diogenes of Sinope, the ancient Greek philosopher, embarked on a whimsical quest to find an honest man. Carrying a lantern in broad daylight, he roamed the streets of Athens searching for someone who lived in accordance with his principles of honesty and virtue. This theatrical search is often interpreted as a comical commentary on the perceived lack of integrity in society. While Diogenes' search was meant to be satirical, it reflects his cynicism toward the moral values of his time. His humorous endeavor to find an honest man in the bustling city of Athens is a timeless anecdote that continues to provoke thought and laughter. In the early 20th century, Henry Ford, the pioneer of the modern automobile industry, had a vision that extended beyond the roads. He envisioned a future where cars could also take to the skies, a dream he pursued with a Ford Trimotor airplane. While the flying car dream didn't fully materialize as Ford had imagined, his innovative spirit and ambition sparked the imagination of generations. It serves as a reminder of humanity's endless pursuit of innovation, sometimes taking whimsical turns along the way. New York City, 1913. In the early 20th century, New York City encountered a novel problem, its first major traffic jam in 1913. The advent of automobiles had brought unprecedented congestion to the city's streets, a phenomenon that drew spectators and amusement. The chaos of the traffic jam was captured in photographs and became a symbol of the evolving urban experience. This incident, which may seem mundane today, amusingly foreshadowed the now all too familiar urban experience of gridlock, honking horns, and the challenges of navigating a bustling metropolis. It serves as a historical moment that humorously reflects the ever-changing landscape of city life. It's clear that humor has always been an integral part of the human experience. If these stories have brought a smile to your day, consider subscribing for more insightful glances into the curious corners of our past. Together, we'll continue to discover the lighter side of history.